Hi guys, welcome back to another video with Pratham Test Prep. This is your host Sanjeev Bhatia again, and we are back on this channel with a new episode on your legal Darpan, which is episode 10. And I hope everybody is doing great, as we know that the CLAT exam is nearby, so the things are getting a little more tense and also they are getting a little more serious. So you need to make sure that you are giving these legal affairs a look before you go in the exam. Now, coming to the first part, if you are new to the channel or you are just subscribed, so do make sure that you hit on the like button and also put a comment down there. And if you can, please share it with your friends and family. And if you're new to the channel, please make sure that you hit on the subscribe button and also don't hit on the bell icon, right? So that you get all the regular updates. If you are not a part of our Telegram channel, do make sure that you are subscribing to our Telegram channel under the name of CLAT at the rate Pratham. And also, you will get all the new updates regarding our sessions and also new deadlines that have come up from the law entrance exams and what are the regular subject based quizzes that you can go on and attempt on this channel. So, do make sure that you are going on this channel and looking for all of these updates. Now, the first news for the day that the Turgeshwar Wildlife Sanctuary has been exempted from the Supreme Court's ESZ mandate, right? So on December 1st, the Supreme Court has exempted the Maharashtra Tungareshwar Wildlife Sanctuary from creating of a 1 kilometer eco-sensitive zones around all protected areas in India, as it is situated on a plateau that is east of Vasai and Virar in Maharashtra Palghar district. It is also located to northern periphery of Mumbai, spreading across 85 square kilometer area. Now it forms a corridor between Borivali National Park and Tansa Wildlife Sanctuary also. So now, what was the mandate on? So on June 3rd of 2022, the Supreme Court has directed all the protected forests, national parks, and wildlife sanctuaries across India to have a mandatory eco-sensitive zone of a minimum of 1 kilometer, starting from their demarcated boundaries. Now, ESZs are set up around the protected areas as a shock absorber. They act as transmission zones from the areas with high protection to those having lesser protection. Now, you can see that it was an important part of the process of making the jungle safe and also providing them as a shock absorber and protecting them. Now, daughter has to show that she is unable to maintain herself or hasn't attained the majority to seek maintenance under section 125 of the criminal procedure code. Now, why is the court saying that? Now, the court said that as per the section 125 of the criminal procedure code, the daughter has to make out a case that she is unable to maintain herself or has not attained the age of majority. Now, with this, bench of Justice Deepak Kumar Tiwari recently allowed a revision petition that was filed by a man challenging a family court's order directing him to pay rupees 5,000 as interim maintenance as per month to her 24-year-old daughter. Right? So, 24-year-old person is first, she is not a minor, and also she is unable to maintain herself and she has to prove that. Okay, now the court said that it is explicit from the impugnant order that the respondent has attained the age of majority and also pursuing BA final year, right? So she's pursuing BA final year, that means she is at least at the age of 21. As per section 125 of the criminal procedure code, to get maintenance, daughter has to make out a case that she is unable to maintain herself or not attain the majority, but in the present case, no such averments have been made. That means that she's not been able to prove either or of both. Now, so the respondent is not entitled to get a maintenance under section 125 of the Criminal Procedure Code. However, section 23 of the Hindu Adoptions and Maintenance Act of 1956 recognizes the right of maintenance to children, That means that they are recognizing the right that are there to be maintenance to the children, and it is a statutory obligation of a Hindu to maintain his or her daughter who is unmarried, is unable to maintain herself out of her own earning of the other property. Right? So that's what the court is saying here. Now, the next case, if the society is progressing, why can't also the laws progress, right? So there was a judgment that was given by the Bombay High Court, and the Bombay High Court pulls up government for not complying with the Supreme Court ruling on the transgender rights, right? So there has been a lot of awareness about transgender rights now. So it is seen that the Maharashtra government has not been able to put up the laws that were being pulled by the Supreme Court. Now, what was being said that on Thursday, right, they pulled the state and also asked them that why they have not made any provisions for the recruitment of transgender persons in the police department. Right, so there has to be a way that it has to be done. So the court said for 7 years, your government has not done anything, right? Despite there being an order of the Supreme Court. Why do we have to do it? Why do you not perform your function that citizens are forced to come to the court? Right? So the court is also gets angry on the government for not acting on time and bringing the requisite propositions that are required for such recruitments, right? Because it happened 7 years ago. Now, the division bench of Justice Dipankar Datta and Justice Abhay Ahuja, right, said hearing the state's appeal against the directions that were issued by the Maharashtra Administrative Tribunal for adding other gender option in all recruitment applications of the Home Department. Right? So there has to be the addition of the other gender option in all the recruitment applications of the Home Department. Right? So the state appeal was against that. Now the MAT has also directed the state to fix the criteria for physical standards and test for transgender candidates, right? So physical standard and tests have to be changed if you are recruiting someone who's coming from a different gender, obviously. So the MAT has also directed the state to make sure that they are fixing such criteria before they are taking in the recruitment process. Now, coming to the next part is that wildlife protection amendment bill permitting ownership of elephants have been passed in the parliament. Now the Rajya Sabha passed the wildlife protection amendment bill which seeks to give effect to India's obligation under the Convention on the International Trade on Endangered Species of Wildlife, Fauna and Flora, which is also called CITES, okay, which requires countries to regulate trade of all listed specimens through permits. Okay, so यहाँ पे if you see that, if you have seen the smuggling cases of the wild fauna, right, and flora that goes from the country, snakes, horns of the like the bulls and the rhinoceros, and also the trunks of the elephants, skin of tigers, all of these things have been traded. So there has to be a lot of laws that have to be made on the protection that needs to be provided to such wildlife. Okay, now the bill will amend the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 to increase the species that are protected under the law, which was passed by the Lok Sabha on August 2 of 2022. Now coming to the next part is that Environment Minister, right, Mr. Bhupendra Yadav said that in India illegal animal trade is regulated under Customs Act, okay, Foreign Trade Development Regulation Act and Exempt Policies and Wildlife Protection Act. However, the bill brought since sites require independent framework for wildlife protection, because we are under the convention of an international organization. We need to make sure that we are framing the frameworks according to following the conventions also, right? That is very important for the countries who want to keep this international like relations with other countries and make sure that they are protecting their own wildlife also. He added that the bill is also beneficial for local tribal communities, okay, as it inserts an explanation to provide for certain permitted activities such as grazing, movement of livestock, bona fide use of drinking and household water. right? So it is also good for the tribal communities who are staying in these forests, using the resources that the forest provide them, because their community has built in certain way. So that's why it is also beneficial for those communities. Now coming to the next part, that multi-state cooperative societies amendment bill of 2022, we have discussed a lot about this entire bill for a long time. You can watch our previous videos. This has been tabled in the Lok Sabha now, right, with an objective to enhance the transparency and accountability and improve the ease of doing business by reducing the periods of registration. Right now, this bill was proposed and also in the light of 97th Constitutional Amendment of 2011, which inserted Part 9B in the Constitution. So, if you are looking to know more about this bill, please refer to our old videos. You will find a lot of material on this bill. We have discussed it multiple times. I just wanted to give you an update about this bill getting tabled in the Lok Sabha. Now, coming to the Times Person of the Year, you can see the picture on your screen. The person is Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky, and he is being chosen as the 2022 Person of the Year by the Time magazine. And anytime you see what is the Person of Year, how it is being chosen, so it is an annual issue of the Time magazine which features a person, a group, an idea, or an object, right, that has significantly influenced the events of the year. It is being chosen by the magazine's editor. The tradition of choosing the Person of the Year began in 1927. Since that year, the Time magazine has been choosing the Person of the Year. Notable past winners have been Adolf Hitler, Vladimir Putin, Mahatma Gandhi, Tesla, and SpaceX CEO Mr. Elon Musk. And because since he made headlines after buying Twitter also, right? So the Person of the Year is Mr. Vladimir Zelensky. Now, who is Mr. Zelensky? So he has gained a global recognition because his role that he has played in the Russia-Ukraine war and also resisting Russia's invasion in Ukraine, and he was the person who stayed in Kiev and fought against the Russian forces, and it has made him famous. He was a stand-up comedian before becoming the president of the country. So you can see how the tables have turned. Now he played a major role in increasing the morale of the Ukrainian forces and also celebrated the steeds of Kherson, and when Ukraine forces succeeded in pushing the Russian forces from strategically important positions in southern cities. Okay. Now coming to the next part is that Zelensky also shares the title with the spirit of Ukraine, which is embodied in every individual involved in the fight against Russia. Okay. Now the next news is that the center has approved Padma as a self-regulatory body. Now you will ask, what is Padma? So the Information and Broadcasting Ministry has approved the Print and Digital Media Association, also called Padma, as a self-regulatory body for publishers of news and current affairs across India. Right? So it is a very important news. If you see that now they will be going as a regulatory body, okay, self-regulatory body. Now coming to the next part, that what exactly Padma does. So the Print and Digital Media Association is a self-regulatory body having 47 news publishers. The organization is also responsible for looking into grievances that are related to digital media, news content on its own member publisher platforms. Okay, so they are basically regulating, that means that they are taking care what is being published. Now it will be headed by the former High Court Judge Mulchand Garg, and also who is a part-time member of the Parasar Bharatiya Ashok Kumar Tandon, and journalist Manoj Kumar Mishra are one of the members of the entire group. Now it will be involved in the redressal of grievances that are pertaining to the Code of Ethics under the Rule 12 of the Information Technology Act, or Rules 2021. Okay, these are all the professional ethics that a reporter or any channel has to follow up. The organization must also ensure that the member publishers have agreed to adhere to the provisions of the rule, including the furnishing of information that is required under the Rule 18 and also the other rules that are included under the Information Technology Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code. Right? So, this is the ethic code that they have to follow, the ethical code of conduct, and the guidelines that they have to follow while broadcasting any information or also printing any kind of media. So, they have to take care of all of these things. Right? So, that is what Padma will be doing. So, this is it for today, guys. Thank you for joining this live session. I hope you were able to get some new updates about what is going on in the world and in India especially. So do make sure that you hit on the like button and also don't forget to subscribe and also come back on the same time and the same place for the legal Darpan session. We hold it on every Friday 3 to 4. So do make sure that you are visiting our channel between that time for all these legal updates. So thank you for joining this channel. Take care of yourself and have a nice day ahead.